I think that's enough to get me started. I can't wait anymore. Let's make some yarn cakes. Not too bad. I think these cakes are smaller than I anticipated. I could probably fit more in the bobbin, but this is fine. Welcome back. This week is all about finishing up old projects and starting new ones. Last night I finished this beautiful cable scarf. The pattern is by Sari Norlund, and I really enjoyed knitting this up. I used all of my scrap yarn. This was great for that. Like you see, there's a color there, pink and I guess maroon, and then you have white and then the same maroon color, and then I ran out of that maroon and took the rest of the white with some of the gold mohair. And then this maroon color is actually alpaca silk, so it's a little bit chunkier and a lot more softer than this, in my opinion. But anyway, this is quite versatile because I don't normally wear hats, but where I live it's pretty windy every now and then, so it's nice to have the opportunity to like cover my head should I need, but it's actually not very often. And the scarf also goes really nice on top. You can wrap it around, but I think I'm gonna wear it like this, like so, and I may get like a nice pin, or I may make one or a button or something to put on here. But usually I put my scarf on first and then my coat on top, so it'll stay in place. So I'm looking forward to that, using this. And then I also wanted to show you the two other Sophie scarves that I have, because these are in regular use. I made a short and a long version, again from my scrap yarn, and I feel like the colors give this pattern life. It's not just some plain monotone single color scarf. Like you can totally wear this with anything, and it pains me to say this, but I'm in love with this pattern. I have been using it religiously. So like this, and the other scarf is quite smaller, but what's nice with this is that I sit in an office space and it doesn't matter what time of the year it is, it's always cold in there, and this has been a lifesaver. So I think I may make another scarf. I have a bit of white fingering weight and plenty of mohair, so I may make another one still. I mean, I need colors, different colors for different outfits. So that's one. And I'll be starting my cable sweater again. I've already made some of the cakes, so this is enough to get me started. But this is going to take a while. I will show you the progress every now and then, but I don't think I will be making a dedicated video to it. Mostly because I'm too impatient for that. But I think I may make a video to review the patterns from Sari Norlund, because I've noticed that her patterns are very well written, and the more and more I look at the designs, the nicer they appear to me. So we'll see. Maybe I'll end up knitting the whole book. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we're gonna knit one of her cable sweaters. It's time to visit my weaving box. Here we go. I have a bunch of weaving cards, random sticks, and what is here? Some shuttles and clamp. Oh yeah, and then just some random tools that I typically use for weaving. But what I'm interested in today are these shuttles here. Now, back in the day, I made these 3 shuttles here. This right here is my least favorite one for obvious reasons. Look, it's so uneven. Like, what happened there? Like, this is way down here and this is way up here. I haven't really used this, although it's nice. It works, I guess. It just bothers me that it looks like that. So I haven't really used that. This here was basically a backup to this, made almost same dimensions, but notice here that it's a bit dark here now, but this one here is a bit more tapered and the edge here is a lot more sharper. This is round. So this is why I haven't really used this, because it's quite thick. So when you're putting in the string or the yarn, it's kind of sloppier. It's harder to get it in place. And this one is actually my favorite one. I've used this quite a lot. Has nice tapered edges, but it's made with soft wood and it has cracked here at some point. Then I glued it together. Then later on, when I realized that I liked weaving, I got this because I'm hoping to make a Norwegian style belt with a rigid loom, and I figured, okay, it would be nice to have a much wider shuttle. But for card weaving, I find that these small ones, they're nice because they're portable and they just look better. They look better, I must say that. And this I made with leftover wood scraps from a leftover floor list. It was basically trash, and I just made a design and sanded it off here and put some coloring into it and then waxed it off. So technically this works just fine, but I've gotten it into my head that I would like a different design, and maybe I would like to improve what I have here and maybe even sand this one a bit more from one of the edges so it's just as tapered as this. Now, mind you, I only need one shuttle, but I wanna test out things. So I started to make some random drawings because I really fancy having like a semicircle shuttle. It's basically the same length as this, but I like this rounded part at the top. I am leaning towards this and this at the bottom, but I think what I'll do first is that I'll make a cutout out of them and then see what I like the most. And to avoid this monstrosity here, I think I'll I'll fold the paper in half and then just cut one side so I make sure that both sides are the same. But you know, when you're cutting things and making holes, things happen. So who knows, maybe I'll end up making a monstrosity and I'll go back to this one. In any case, I do have some spare wood, so I thought that I would start prepping for that because I'm fancying a weaving project. I'm not quite sure if I will do a card one, or I did get this from the thrift store. It was really inexpensive. I think it was like less than 100 kronos. So I might do that or this. I haven't decided yet. The design will be the deciding factor for me. I haven't really woven with this, so that's a little bit appealing as well. But then again, it's a lot of string and a lot of work doing the setup, so I have to be very sure and decide that I'm not gonna abandon the project halfway. But I'm not gonna decide anything now. I think I will let the idea simmer and I will think about it while I'm making a shuttle. And by trash wood, I really do mean trash wood. Like this can't be used for anything other than something like this. It's like, it might actually not be a good idea to use it for this, or not large enough. Well, there's this. And then this leftover part of one of the newer lists. I believe this is teak. But we're not going to use this for anything else, so either I use it or it ends up in the fireplace. My beautiful creations. I'm not ashamed. Okay, no to this one. I like both of these. Let's see, do they even fit here? Be wary of this. You'll have a hard time cutting it and it will just crack. So that's not gonna work. Okay, this could fit here. Let's see, are there any other imperfections? No. Okay, you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll make two. I'll do this design on this and this larger one here. Now this is just a rough outline. And we'll be able to sand it and perfect it a bit more once the main shape is cut, like that. And what I'll end up doing once the main shape is cut, I will sand it from the middle here. Like if you see here, there's an indentation. There's an indentation. So that I can wrap a lot more string or yarn. If it's flat, like it could be flat, but I find since the shuttle is so small, it's convenient to make an indent here to have just more yarn. So that, and then I will also sand it from the bottom here so that it's nice and tapered. So I'm in the workshop, and you'll need a handsaw and a place where you can hold your work. And what you want to do is more or less make sharp cuts. They don't need to be perfect and along the curved lines, because we're gonna buff that out with sandpaper. We just want to get rid of the largest chunks of wood. And I managed to crack the whole thing just as I was finishing. That's unfortunate, but I think I will now use the same template and then use the teak list instead. Alright, the main outline is done. I'll go downstairs to cut this out. Okay, that was a lot of sanding, but I'm very satisfied with the results actually. This is exactly what I was looking for. Now, I sanded it again with finer sandpaper because some of the edges were a bit rough, especially here and here, and it's quite important for it to be quite smooth, especially if you're putting finer yarn there. But now it's good enough. I did it with very, very fine sandpaper. So this is what it looks like. And it's tapered there. So it gives like a really nice edge. Although the actual shuttle is quite thick. But that's fine because I'm only interested in this part here when I'm actually working, or I'm interested in the whole thing obviously, but the sharp end should be on this side. And here's the failed piece. A bit of advice, these pieces here were made of similar wood to this. This is a lot lighter and a lot softer and a lot easier to work with, but then it's a lot easier if it cracks, or you know, when you drill a hole or something and then pieces of it fall off like they did here. And that's why I have so many of them, because they were so easy to make, and they're very light. This is very light and it's very useful, but you see when I was treating it, where is it? This one here completely cracked there. And I had put so much effort into it that I thought, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna throw it out. It's finished, basically. It was just this top part that had cracked. So I did glue it and it works fine, but that's one of the risks if you use wood like this. Anyway, this was actually teak wood, which is also pretty soft, but a lot better than this. Looks nice as well. So what I want to do now is I want to oil it and wax it. Or maybe I'll just wax it. Yeah, I think I'll just wax it and let it buff it out a bit. And then maybe I'll have another look at it again tomorrow. And maybe put another coat. I'm running out of wax, it seems. It's actually the next day and I let the wax sit there overnight. I guess that wasn't necessary, but anyway, I didn't have time yesterday. So I'm just gonna buff it out now. I don't see any edges that I want to continue sanding at the moment. And I don't mind that it's a little bit uneven on some parts. Because this is handmade, it's not perfect. I'm actually very happy with that. Maybe I'll need to add a little bit more wax or something later on, but since it's such a small tool and it's gonna fit in my hand like this, I think it'll just patina naturally as I use it, so I'm good. I think that was an improvement. Oh, I really like the shape of this as well. This one has good memories. Okay. Other than that, I have been working on my cable sweater with the yarn I did during my Spin to Mordor challenge. It's turning out quite all right. I did have to redo this once, and that's because I decided to cast on really late in the evening and I misread the pattern. My bad. But I caught the mistake early on, thankfully, and I'm on my way. But I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas as to what I should weave next, please let me know. It'll either be a tablet weaving project or something using this rigid loom. I have not decided yet. Let me know. Okay, see you next time.